So this is your time slot, so take it.
Hey everybody, I am Haley Gray and I am excited to be here tonight with you. I am the group owner here in the Women's Entrepreneur Network, and Joe is broadcasting for us because he's got us going live a bunch of places. If you are catching us on the live, give us a hashtag live. If you're catching us on the replay, give us a hashtag replay and let us know that you are out there. And I would like to welcome tonight's guests. Good morning or good evening to Joe DiChiara. And hello, Greg. It's Craig Duswalt. It is a pleasure to meet you tonight.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here as well. This is my fourth one of the day.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious. It's been a Zoom StreamYard kind of day, but it's great to be with you guys. You're the last one. I have the most energy.
You've been slacking clearly today.
Exactly. I know. I apologize. I'll make it up tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So what has you slacking and doing quite so many Facebook Lives?
I have a mastermind group that I have these 200 rock stars that. Oh, is that someone? Is that like Joe DiChiara is part of? And today I had a master class on how to sell from the stage. And then I had a surprise guest on my mastermind. I had Les Brown come to our mastermind group today and just talk to our group. And then I did another mastermind hot seat thing. And then yours is the fourth one today. So today was a lot of mastermind Zoom calls in my Rock Your Life mastermind. And this is my first guest appearance of the day. Save the best for last.
Awesome.
This is actually like a typical day for Craig, except he's not on the golf course. No, I mean, this guy.
Well, I played golf this morning, though.
Oh, you did? Okay. This guy never stops, Haley. Never stops.
I have no idea what that's like.
Yeah, I played golf at 7:50 till 9 holes only, and then I got home, prepared for the show, ate dinner, and here I am.
Awesome.
But this is what our life is now, right? You know, doing these type of things.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. And so like, what is unique about, you know, now, like with COVID-19 and all the quarantine stuff and all the impacts that you're seeing with small businesses?
It's interesting. I've been doing this for 15 years, being a speaker, and for 14 3/4 of them, I vowed I would never do this. I did not want to go on live things. I did not want to do Zoom. I did not want to. Everyone always asked me, can you film your live events so we could watch it at home and not have to go there? And I said no for years, but we could make an extra $100 a ticket. No, I don't think it's the same energy. It's just not the same energy. So I've been not wanting to do it for the longest time. So sometimes though, a little pandemic will cure that little mindset. So in March, just like everybody else, I learned Zoom. I learned Clarita is the e-commerce that I use. And now all I do is Zoom calls. I added, because we can't do in my mastermind 2-day live events. That's what we do in our mastermind. I just do weekly master classes. So I had to adapt to what's going on. And that's what we're teaching now. You have to adapt and you have to go with the flow. And it's interesting. I had a large event, April 30th to May 2nd. I had 892 people sign up, and I thought, this is going to be a boring disaster. 3 days, 8 hours a day of me online like this, just a face, and that's it, and guest speakers. And everyone emailed me back and said this was the greatest. You know, we're saving a ton of money by not flying there, not going to hotels, not spending money in restaurants, and yet we got the same information, and it was great. However, I do believe in live events, and I can't wait to start doing them again. But this is great for now.
Cool. Yeah. So tell me, what does mastermind mean to you?
Mastermind in my world is a place where a bunch of people can go and just brainstorm with each other. So I coach in my mastermind too. But it's more of a place where you can feel comfortable, ask any question, get some feedback from a large group of people. I have, like I said, 200 in my mastermind. So it's a large pool of people that we can get feedback from. So there might be, 50 people say that's great, but 150 people say not so much. So it's a large number of people that will give feedback on something. And it's just an encouraging place where you can, like these master classes that I do, I'm letting my mastermind people do master classes as well, so they can learn how to train, how to do presentations for people. So it's a safe place to grow, learn, and just brainstorm with other people.
Very cool. So what makes your mastermind different from other people's masterminds? Because, masterminds, I hear, dozens and dozens and dozens of people in the online world doing them.
Well, Joe DeChara is in mine, so that makes mine completely different from everybody else's. I will say this: my mastermind is way different than I've been in tons. Is way different because I have this mastermind where it's a certain amount of money for the first year, and then the second year you pay half price, and the third year you pay half price of that half price. So very rarely people leave. Like I get like 3 or 4 or 5 people leave every year or every class, every 6 months. And I get like 20 or 30. So it's 200 people right now. And what's happening over the years is the people that have stayed in my mastermind for a long period of time, because a lot of masterminds, it's like, $10,000 a year. So you do 1 year and then you're not going to do the second year because it's another $10,000. So I'm going to go somewhere else. Mine, very rarely people leave. So over time, the people that have been in it a long time can share the things they've learned over the years with the new people as well. And the new people are always bringing fresh blood and fresh ideas to our older group. Mm-hmm. So it's an influx of new people and old people that most masterminds don't have. They just have new people every single year because they don't do this little model that I do.
Pretty cool. So what kind of industries are most of your clients in?
They're all entrepreneurs. Well, 95% are entrepreneurs. The other 5% are corporate people that want to be entrepreneurs. They're mainly speakers, authors, coaches, a lot of small business owners, a couple of brick and mortar store owners, but it's mainly entrepreneurs, people that want to, I call them world changers, people that want to give back, make a difference, not just do the regular work stuff, but we have a whole like nonprofit leg that we do a lot of stuff with, giving back, and a lot of people are starting nonprofits. I just think that's a big thing in everybody's business to have a nonprofit as well. But it's mainly entrepreneurs, and I have a lot of speakers, a lot of coaches, a lot of book writers, lots of authors now, because I teach people how to write a book in 30 days. And Joe DeChara has written 42 books or something.
I'm in the process of 42 books.
There you go.
That's pretty cool. So what do your authors do with their books?
They leave them in their garage and collect dust, and then every once in a while
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, that is the truth, because a lot of people don't listen to what the mentor says sometimes. But we sell our book. Every one of my clients is a #1 that's written a book, is a #1 Amazon bestselling author. So we help them get to that. But after that, I use books personally, and I teach this as a business card. I don't have business cards. I don't hand out business cards. So I give out books. So I buy 2,000 to 4,000 books at a time, and they're 96-page books. Those are my small. I have bigger ones too. But I have 96-page books that I hand out as business cards. So I order thousands at a time, and if they are collecting a lot of dust in my garage or storage unit, I tend to go to networking events and I'll start handing out books, because I just think it's a great way to, get someone to pay attention to you instead of handing a business card, handing a book. And my book is RockStar System for Success. So what happens when I hand them a book, they're like, why RockStar System? And then I get to explain, well, I toured with Guns N' Roses and Air Supply, which I want to say, so that they ask the questions. And then I'm not just the regular person at the party or the networking group. I have some really cool stories. And then this is my way of getting them to ask me, so what? You toured with Guns N' Roses? What? Oh, tell us a story. So now I've got 15 people around me listening to Guns N' Roses stories when I'm really trying to sell my RockStar Marketing Bootcamp. So it's a way of getting the word out that I exist, giving out free books as much as possible, but I also sell them online. But I wish my people would listen to me and stop trying to make a killing on their books and just give them out for free wherever they go, so that they can be seen more. It's like glorified billboards, having a book.
Are you talking directly to me, Craig?
I'm talking to Haley right now. but I'm looking angled at you.
No, I totally get it. And I have several best-selling books, so I totally get that book marketing technique. And it's really a $4 calling card.
But actually, you know, if you buy enough books, mine's $1.50 calling card. So, you know, I buy a lot of books, and that's exactly, Haley, what I think. You know, it's $1.50, but it's way better than what a 15-cent business card. But the bang for the buck is so much more because of the situation that I just said. And the other thing is, no one's going to throw out a book. They just keep books. You know, I have so many bookshelves in my other parts of my office with thousands of books that every time I speak, I get more books. And I have had 700 people write a book using my How to Write a Book in 30-Day program. So, and everyone writes books and then they give them to me. So I have all these books everywhere. But I don't throw away books, whereas business cards, they're in the garbage, you know.
Right. Yeah, totally.
It's a business card. You know.
So, you know, I get from people a lot of times that they're unsure of what a mastermind is fundamentally. So what does it do? What is mastermind? Because we're talking about masterminds because we've all done masterminds. Mm-hmm. But what is a mastermind?
So in mine, a mastermind is supposed to be a group of people getting together and brainstorming. That's all it is. But it's actually more than that. So we have a Facebook page, and on our Facebook page, you can put up your logo, you can put up your book cover, you can put up an idea for something, a couple of taglines, a title for something, and you give 200 people a chance in my mastermind to respond and say, is that good? So once again, so it's a brainstorming thing there. Then we meet 6 times a year for 2 days, and we have hot seats, and someone gets up on stage and they just have an issue with something in their business. And then we, as the group, have an open discussion while that person's sitting in the hot seat of what they could do to solve that problem. And because there are so many people in the room with so many different backgrounds, you're going to get a lot of really good ideas. On top of that, when you're not sitting in the hot seat, we all have the same question. I mean, entrepreneurs want to know, how do I make more money? How do I save time? Time management skills. How do I have the right mindset? Everyone has the same questions. So when you're not on the hot seat, it's a better scenario sitting in the audience because you're not under pressure. Oh my gosh, my life is in the hands of these people right now. If I don't get the right answer, I'm not going to succeed. But now you're sitting in the audience and someone else has a hot seat question and you're hearing all the feedback and you get to listen to what they're telling those people and it applies to you as well. What I also do is I give people like 5 or 10 minutes on stage in front of our group, randomly sometimes, and sometimes I schedule them. And they just go up there and do a 5-minute talk that they're working on, or some 10-minute talk, or a section of their talk that they've been working on. So once again, it gets them in front of people that they can make a mistake and be horrible, but it's a safe place. And so there's no criticizing. You can't criticize. You try to find the best in whatever they did, encourage that, and say, and maybe next time you could do this instead. So mainly it is a place to brainstorm and have people help you get to the point of succeeding that we all want.
Yeah, absolutely. So how does touring with a rock band compare to managing a bunch of entrepreneurs?
That's funny. So I've toured with 2 rock bands, Air Supply and Guns N' Roses. So there's 2 totally different scenarios there. So Air Supply, we had our own bus, and it was crazy because it was 90% women in the audience, and they all wanted to meet the band. Guns N' Roses was a security nightmare, and just like we were sequestered a lot in hotels. And then if we wanted to go out, we had like 10 bodyguards surrounding like Axel and me, not because of me, because of Axel, obviously. And so that was a little different. But I will say this, managing 200 people in a mastermind is much harder than touring with Guns N' Roses and Air Supply because I have 200 personalities instead of 5 or 6. and there's no pressure on tour except for Axl showing up, Axl Rose. That was the big pressure on the Guns N' Roses tour. Air Supply, no pressure at all. They were easy to work with. But there's a lot of pressure in running a 200-person mastermind because, people have expectations, and I know this is going to sound unbelievably amazing, Joe, but I'm not perfect, sometimes. So things go, get swept under the rug, and then I try to make up for it. So 200 people versus 6 is the issue. However, I love my mastermind group. I'll do anything for them. A lot of them, like Joe, have been with me for a very, very long time. But I've known Joe since 84, I think it was. But a lot of people like Joe, I have numerous friends from high school and college in my mastermind, which is really strange. Yeah, it's I love them all, and I've been blessed with a great group. Every time I do an event, I pray, please God, let me get the right people to join this group, because one bad apple, one bad seed can ruin a group. They just start talking to other people, and it gets messy. And I don't have that. And I have an unbelievably great group of supportive people that are like-minded. Everyone's pretty much like-minded. They all want the same thing. They all want to help change the world, and they all want to be successful. And success doesn't mean more money. It's just in whatever their term of success is. Like my new vision of success is to not be stressed anymore and let this pandemic be over, please, and my kids can go to college at a normal college situation. That's my new success. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Right.
I've got
That's
kids in middle school, high school, and college. So I feel you.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh, you have one in each?
I have one in each. Yes.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. That's fun.
It's delightful. Yeah. And I've got one in the hospital that, because she's in the hospital, we can't see, and they've got the whole facility locked down, and we haven't seen her in March.
Which one is that one? The middle school, high school, or college?
That's one that's older than college.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I have 4.
Okay.
So Wendy asked the question, how does one know if they are ready for a mastermind?
Okay, Wendy, wherever you are, that's an unbelievably great question. You're ready now. This is my very, 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 very humble opinion. Everyone in my mastermind, correct, Joe? Everyone is at a different level. We have people that are totally beginners, and people like, Joe, he's a veteran. Larry Broughton, this guy that owns like a bunch of hotels and manages a bunch of hotels. Les Brown is in my mastermind. I mean, if I need to say anything else. But now, any time is the best time, because it does not matter. You don't have to be ready, in my opinion, for a mastermind. You do have to be ready to want to be in a mastermind. But I have so many people that have come to my mastermind that had no idea what they wanted to do. In fact, my 2 event planners that I've had over the last 8 years were not event planners. They came to the mastermind and they weren't event planners, and then they became my event planner. I'm really good at helping people become what they probably want to become. Sometimes I say, maybe that's not a good road to go down, because I feel that they're trying to do something that they're not really good at, and they don't have a passion, but they heard that it makes a lot of money. That's when I'll step in and say, maybe we should go here. But if someone has no idea what they want to do, and no idea like what they even want in life, I feel that's a great time to join a mastermind, because what better place to find all these people that are doing different things, and then you get different ideas of, oh wow, that person does that, and I really like that, and just getting different ideas. So knowing nothing and have no idea what you want to do is a great time, but it's also a great time if you want to take your business to the next level. Like Les Brown, I'll just share, last night he calls me up and he goes, I want to do this new thing, and I don't know how to do it. I want you to help me to do it. And this is Les Brown. I mean, the #1 motivational speaker of all time. And he's not afraid to come to a person and say, I know you do this really well. Can you help me do this? And I would love to give back. And so he appeared on my mastermind today. So we're working together like that. But not being afraid to ask questions and not being afraid to be vulnerable is the key to joining a mastermind. That's it. It does not matter where you are. It does not matter how successful you are or how successful you're not. It's just the willingness to jump in and say, okay, I'm going to ask some questions and I just want to figure this out. So there's no good time and no bad time.
Absolutely. How do you know if you're really getting value from a mastermind?
Well, you never know that, right? The person, I can't make people do things.
Right.
So many times I share, Joe will attest to this, I've shared so many things from the stage. For one of them, I'll give you an example. I tell people, go on prweb.com to go and do a press release. They'll help you do a press release and you can get out to 40,000 websites. And then I have a mastermind and they're like, so has anyone used PRWeb? What's PRWeb? And I'm like, are you serious? So now in my seminars, I say it 100 times, right, Joe?
So, Craig, can I've been quiet because I'm actually losing my voice like you used to. I'm on these calls and I didn't realize it. So maybe you can tell me how did you?
No, I don't know.
But it's bad. But it's a great question. But one thing I want to point out is every mastermind is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm doing like free masterminds with s-corp, and it's just brainstorming hot seats. You definitely have a unique, to put it lightly, mastermind. But yeah, I've been in 8 years. I think I had like a 1.5 year stretch where I didn't want to come to California and stuff. But a lot of people. I mean, most of the people I know today are from the mastermind.
Yeah.
So the value, how do you put a value on it? Well, I got value right away because I started meeting people right away. I was involved. So and some masterminds are like $100,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
And people stay in them. I mean, you're not even close to that.
I'll tell you, mine is $4,000 a year, and for mine,
it's
ridiculous.
For what you're doing now with all the trainings, I'm like, oh my God, But you taught me also, over deliver. Yeah. And I don't have an affiliate link. I should have an affiliate, But I'm actively, I think we started with like 30 or 40. Yeah. And you said, oh, I don't want to have a big mastermind. And now you have 199. It's not 200.
Well, actually, I have 206, but 6 people don't have Facebook. So I can't.
But I mean, and so your model is that's off the charts.
But the value thing, Joe, right? It's hard because I can't control what someone does. I can only teach, I can only mentor, but I will say this. Yeah. Like I said, hardly anyone leaves. And like Joe just said, a lot of his friends and a lot of people he does work with now are from the mastermind. And I have a ton of those type people. So the value, even if they didn't make another dime from what I taught them, they're going to have connections but you can't put a value on it. I can't say how much more they've made, but I guarantee 95% of my money have made, 95% of my people have made more money just being in the mastermind. And it's not necessarily even to do with me. It's doing other things with other people. I am a master at connecting people with people. And today, Les Brown is on my mastermind. I don't know, Joe, if you were still on. And Melinda shares a story, and he says, you know what? I'd like to do something for you. Why don't you give Craig your number, and I'm going to call you. And they're on the phone as we speak right now. So Les Brown is walking this woman through finding her niche, and just because of a connection that I had on the mastermind. And I know for a fact I get the top people come into my mastermind for free to just teach. Very rare that someone has that, and I'll tell you why. I am not intimidated by getting Les Brown and Bo Eason and Joe Polish and Glenn Morshower to come and do my stuff as if they're going to steal my clients. I could give a rap, but no one does. No one does, and I think it's a respect. but I want them to go with Bo and go with Les also. Because I was with those guys. I've done their programs. So I think a lot of speakers, though, and mastermind people that charge a lot of money are very protective of their mastermind and list, where I'm like, you meet him, you meet her, and everything will be great. And I think that's why people stay.
Absolutely. And I think it's the power of your connections.
Yeah.
And Wendy
Craig,
says
also,
it's about the connections. Yeah. It's 100% the connections.
Yeah. But the point I was trying to make is, you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah.
I put the work in, I meet the people, and that's how you get the value out of it.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, absolutely. You have to do the work and that people are telling you to do. Like go on to PR Web and register and do that. PR
Web is my funniest thing. I'm telling you, Haley, I've been talking about this for years, and I mention it every event, every mastermind, and my mastermind people look at me like deer in headlights. What's PR Web? And I'm like, are you even listening to what I ever say? Do you ever? So anyway, that's our little joke. So now in my masterminds, I say it 100 times. Do
they know it's a joke? Well, I guess now you've let the cat out of the bag, but do most of the people in your mastermind know that it's a joke?
Yes, they do now. Now, because I say it so much.
As of tonight.
Right.
So tell me a funny story about being on tour with Axel.
Well, that's a loaded question there, Haley, because what's the show rated?
Well, it's 10 p.m. where I am.
I know.
Come on, Craig, you wrote a book about it.
I know, but I gotta toe the line. See, my things.
Keep it like PG-13 or better.
When I tell stories on my stage, I have control of the video. I have no control over this video here. So, funny stories.
Let it into the wild here for sure.
I know. I'm trying to think of.
I could give you one if you want it. When you had to buy the seat on the Concorde for the stuffed animal.
So Axl Rose is dating Stephanie Seymour, Victoria's Secret model. They're engaged. I think they were engaged at this time. And so it was her birthday, and we're in London, England, and she's in the United States in California. And he said, so we go shopping for her to buy her something. He wanted to buy her something. And he sees this gigantic stuffed elephant. It is literally, I'm going to guess, like 8 feet long by 4 feet high. It's gigantic. And he buys it at the store. And he says, I want to buy this for Stephanie. Can you ship it to her? And I'm like, all right. And he's done crazier things than that. And he says, it has to be there tomorrow. It's her birthday tomorrow. I'm like, dude, how do I get this thing? It's not going to fit in the FedEx box. And he said, just get it there. And this is what I did very, very well with Guns N' Roses. Like, we had a thing where he's about to go on stage, and he's 2 hours late already in Czechoslovakia, and his throat was bothering him before he went on stage. And he's like, Craig, find me an English-speaking ENT doctor in the next 20 minutes, or I'm not going on stage. So I literally go into the audience of non-English speaking people, and I'm looking for an ENT in the audience. And someone spoke English and translated me for me, and we found somebody that knew somebody that was an ENT. They called him. I offered him I think $5,000 to get here in the next 10 minutes. To make a long story short, the ENT got backstage. We called the front gate, let this car in, and it got to backstage. And with like 5 minutes to spare, I found an English-speaking ENT in Czechoslovakia so that Axel could do the show. So preface that with, I can almost do anything. I put my mind to it. So he says to me, get this there tomorrow. So I'm calling up all these overnight things from international. We're in London. This is not going from California to Dallas. This is going from London to California. And if you look on a map, it has to go to New York and then to California. It's not just it's not on the right coast, the correct. So I literally, because money is not an object, I got the elephant a first-class seat on the Concorde. And the elephant went from London, England to California and was there the next day. And our limo company picked up the elephant, put it in the limo, and drove it to her house. And that's what you do when you have millions of dollars.
What year was it? Asks when.
That would have to have been 1992 or 3.
So you got the elephant there on time.
I did.
Right delivered.
And how long did you tour with them?
Guns N' Roses, 3.5 years. Air Supply, 7 years. And 3.5 years was enough. It's so funny that over the years, there's been like chatter. Hey, we should ask Craig back. And I'm like, no. I'm married with kids, and that's not good for relationships touring with Guns N' Roses. I'll just say that.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So,
Is that the airplane?
I don't know. It's not coming from my side. Joe, is that coming from your side?
Probably.
Joe's going to take the blame.
Listen, I got LaGuardia here. And I'm in between LaGuardia and Kennedy, so it's not my fault.
Yeah, you didn't
It's Concord, it's back.
Yeah, we can only wish, right?
Right, yeah.
So if somebody wanted to find you, obviously they go to Craig Duswalt. How do you enroll people into your mastermind?
So it's interesting. Again, COVID situation. The only way to get in my mastermind prior to COVID was you had to come to a RockStar marketing bootcamp. So they were every spring and fall in Los Angeles. And that's how I believe that I also got people to show up. Like the rule was, if you wanted to join my mastermind, you had to go to the event, because I teach a lot of stuff at the event that I don't want to have to start over with individual people. So that was the rule for 15 years. But since COVID, I'm doing it different now. So anyone can join my mastermind whenever they want. So if they wanted to join today, it would be 1 year from today. They would be in the mastermind, and they would get everything prior date to now, and 1 year of being in the mastermind. And that's $4,000. And then if they want to renew in year 2, it's $2,000. And in year 3 is $1,000. If you really think of this, what I've done is I guaranteed myself right now, where we stand, a salary of $200,000 a year, adding no people to my mastermind and not getting any keynote speeches and not selling any sponsorships or stage time or any of the other things that I do. And I do a lot of keynotes, and I get like, $10,000 to $15,000 for a keynote. So that's a big part of my income. But I am guaranteed, if everyone stayed in my mastermind, which most people stay, and if they're all at the $1,000 level because they've been in it for 3 years or more, I guarantee myself $200,000 a year, and that's pretty good. What's that called? Security. So
pretty good pocket change, I'd say.
Good pocket change, exactly. For you, Haley, it's good pocket change. For me and Joe, we have to work harder, So what's happening now is, because of COVID and because I didn't get to do a live event, I'm doing exactly what I teach people not to do, is having the one-off, joining the mastermind at different dates. But because now I've gotten better, because of COVID, at systematizing my business, now people can come in anytime, and then Kartra will tell me their year is up, it's time for them to renew. I'll send them a renewal letter, and if they want to renew, it's just all systemized now. So it does not matter now when someone joins, because they're still going to get a year. And because of the way I position everything, they're still going to get all the things that everyone else gets, depending on when they join as well. So now I take people all the time. So it's CraigDuswalt.com, and then there's a mastermind link on there, and they can just join the mastermind. And I have another link. Do you have a chat?
I do.
Yeah. I'd love to give you this link if that's okay with you guys.
Sure. And the question that I just got from Tatiana is, will the fall boot camp be live or virtual?
Yeah, well, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Hold on, let me just, because I want to concentrate on that answer. Because, here. Bear with me, I apologize.
If you put it here in the private chat,
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
That would be awesome. But that is an interesting question because the answer to that question changes literally every single day, and I'll give you an example of that. Okay, just put it in private chat.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay, so if you would have told me in March that my October RockStar Marketing or Rock Your Life experience event would be jeopardized, I'd think you were crazy. There's no way. I had to cancel. I had to make April 30th to May 2nd an online virtual event. But October is still up in the air. Now, I'm trying to do it still. Like, I'm going to have a live mastermind in September in Los Angeles at the Sheraton Gateway. People in my mastermind, they get to come to that because they're putting us in a very large room and we're social distancing, which is great. But I can't afford to have 100 people at my seminar, and that's the only room that they could give me. It fits like maybe 400 in this California ballroom, it's called, and they will only let me have 100 in it. And I always get 400, 500, or 600 at my event because it costs me $50,000 to put on an event. So I have to sell sponsorships and all that. And if they only let me have 100, first of all, I can't do that monetarily. But
right.
Now they're even saying it might be 50 total that you might be allowed to have. As of right now, it's 10 as of today. So I just don't know. I have every intention of doing October 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Sheraton Gateway, LAX. But if it doesn't happen, it'll be March of next year. And if you join the mastermind, you get to come to the next two live events, even if it is past the date of your year anniversary. I'm always going to give people 2 live events and as many of the live masterminds as well. But like Joe just said, I'm doing these weekly master classes on every subject imaginable. And my mastermind is loving this. They're getting way more now than they've ever gotten because every week we do at least 1 or 2 plus online masterminds. Right, Joe?
Yeah, like last week I started hopping on them and that was unbelievable. But today, with Les Brown, that was powerful.
Yeah, it's good
so,
stuff.
It's not just the training. It's like, I didn't know Les Brown was showing up.
No one did. It was
so he called Craig while Craig is having the mastermind meeting. Is that what happened? It really wasn't.
He wasn't sure he could make it today, so we preliminarily set it up, but he wasn't sure, so I didn't want to announce it. But then during it, I'm like, my phone starts ringing and he's FaceTiming me. And I'm like, no, we're not FaceTiming. You got to go on Zoom. So while everyone was on, I sent them the Zoom link and he came on. And those are the things. I love doing those things. I have so many surprises at my events. And I know so many people that I get these really cool people. And they're not like the non-famous people that were in a band. It's like the lead singer. It's like the stars or business leaders that are like the top business leaders. So we get a lot of really, really cool people. So I love surprising my mastermind. It was great today. Yeah.
So question.
The funny thing is Wendy asked you the question that I should have asked Les Brown.
Right.
Listen, he's one of the top speakers. Is he still speaking?
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing it all virtual now.
Well, like us all, he's doing everything virtual, but he does Facebook Lives like every single day. Like
really?
More than me. Yeah. Just go on Les Brown. Well, his new book, You Got to Be Hungry. He has this, I just have it out because we were talking about it. I think the website, You've Got to Be yougottabeHungry.com is where he does all the Facebook Lives. But this
Wow. Okay. I got to check that out.
All right, Haley.
Thanks, Brent.
Cool. Question from Dr. Flo, and she's joining us from Japan. What are the first steps to becoming a successful public speaker?
That's one of the first steps. And I didn't do this, so I'm going to share that I did not do this. But joining like Toastmasters, that type of a thing, is a great idea. What I did, I'm an ex-actor, so I used to be an actor, and I took improv classes. I think taking acting classes and or improv classes is huge for a speaker. And then the first step is just start contacting local associations, networking groups, all these little things that meet at IHOP, or in Japan, I don't know where they would meet, but little networking groups like BNI we have here in America, little networking groups, 20 people, and say, hey, I'm a public speaker and my topic is this. I'd love to speak for free at your association or your event. And then you do a bunch of those at the beginning in your neighborhood that you know people, or you're a business leader. And then the key, I feel, to becoming a public speaker is you have to do your own event. At some time, you have to put on your own event, because there's a lot of speakers out there that don't want to do their own event, don't want to pony up the money for doing an event. They just want to get on other people's stages. Well, I have this whole way to get on other people's stages, and one of them includes stage swapping. So if you have an event with even 50 people at it, you could swap with other people that maybe have 50 to 100 people at their event, and that's how you get seen a lot. So you have to put on an event, even if it's 20 to 50 people at their event, at your event, that's good enough to get started. But you have to put on your own event so that the world knows that this person is a speaker, and that you're respected in the industry, and they know. Here's the other key. Your website must say that you're a speaker. I have so many people that are speakers, and I go to their website and I have no idea that they're speakers. You have to say, hire Craig Duswalt to speak at your next event. Book Craig Duswalt to speak at your next event. A picture of me on stage speaking. It's obvious that I'm a speaker when you go to my website. A lot of people, it's hidden in some small button. Hire Joe to speak, or something like that. Joe doesn't do that. But I'm just saying, hire me to speak is a small little button, and they think they're a speaker. You have to tell the world you're a speaker. You have to be a speaker, and you have to act like a speaker. Absolutely.
Will there be a virtual boot camp in October?
I don't know. Okay, I'll say this. If the other one is canceled, the October 8th, 9th, and 10th is not live, 100% it'll be virtual. And the good thing about the virtual, though, the last time I did the event virtually, because everyone was available, I had Joe Polish on. Joe Polish does not do a lot of events. He runs the Genius Network. It's $25,000 a year to be in his network, and there's no discount year two. But it's the top. Tony Robbins is in it, Brendan Burchard, Lisa Sasevich, all the top speakers and top business. Peter Diamandis, top people are in that one. So Joe Polish was on. Russell Hitchcock, the lead singer of Air Supply, was on. Who else did I have? Garrett Gunderson, a financial whiz, was on. Les Brown was on. Glenn Morshower, actor from the show 24. He played Aaron Pierce. He's been on 5 million shows. All my audience knows him. He's done a lot of my boot camps. Point was, I get virtually really great people because they're available. So for October, if I go virtually, I will have kick-ass speakers. And they are so good at this Zoom thing now that we were crying during Les Brown at the April event. Who else? Glenn had a lot of emotional stuff. And there's one speaker that I'm totally forgetting. It's huge. But just a lot of, Les Brown told this story of him being in a church, and this mentor of his told the pastor, he's 18 years old, you got to have Les Brown go and talk to your congregation. And so Les is sitting in church. He has no idea this is going on. And the pastor says, Les Brown, can you come and say a couple of words to our congregation? And Les Brown is like freaking out. He's 18 years old. He goes up to the altar and he says, I just want to say, God bless you all. Amen. And that was it. And the pastor backstage yelled at Les, how dare you embarrass me? You are an embarrassment to the speaker world. He yelled at him like, I thought you were going to give some knowledge up there and you did that. You're not invited back to my church, all this thing. Les Brown went to the car. He started crying. He's smashing the steering wheel and he said, that will never happen to me again. And he became Les Brown. He's prepared all the time now. But when he was telling the story, he was crying. And it's really, because we're this close to someone, it's really powerful and emotional. So, long answer, if we are virtual in October, we're going to get a lot of great, I already people lined up my just in case mode, for October.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. And Dr. Flo says, I signed up for improv classes just before the pandemic. This is so helpful. Thank you so much.
You know what, Dr. Flo, if you still want to take improv classes and acting classes, Glenn Morshower is doing them online. And the key here is he's teaching people camera work because he usually does them live in his studio in Dallas. And then you kind of got to be in Dallas to go to his class because it's once a week. But now he's doing them through Zoom. So the great thing is he's teaching people how to look into a camera, how to stay focused, and how to still have a conversation with the person next to you, but you're looking into a camera. So it's a whole different thing, and it's working great for speakers too. So his name is Glenn Morshower, M-O-R-S-A. I'll type it in the chat. And just look him up, and they're like only $40 a class. It's the cheapest, and he's like one of the top actors in Hollywood. But he's amazing.
And Tatiana was saying that Larry Broughton was another speaker.
Yes, Larry, I think I said Larry, and if I didn't, I apologize. Yes, Larry Broughton was another speaker. He owns and manages hotels all over the place, and he's a former Green Beret, and he is an amazing speaker, very powerful and very successful person. One of my dear, dear, dear friends, and he's just, wow, he's good. He's good.
He's pretty awesome. Yeah, we interviewed him one evening a couple of months ago.
Oh, good. Did he mention me at all? Okay. I'm kidding.
We were talking about the COVID situation and how it's affected the tourism industry.
I understand, but he didn't talk about me?
I don't remember.
No, that was off camera, Craig.
I'm kidding.
We talked about you.
Larry and I
talk about you all the time.
I'm going to call you. Why didn't you talk about me?
Too funny. So, if you had to go back and do it again, would you tour with different rock bands and do it, or would you do something different?
No, no, I wouldn't change anything, but I would not add more touring to what I did. No, it's really funny when I'm with Guns N' Roses at the time, the #1 band in the world, the #1 tour of the world. When I quit, everyone's like, "Why would you quit a job like that?" And I'm like, "Do it for 3.5 years. Be in a different hotel every single night. Be in different planes almost every single night. The stress of getting 7 guys on stage at the same time is just, and I was Axl Rose's guy, which was the hardest person. It's very stressful, and it does not give you the opportunity to have a normal life. It's just not. There's a lot of divorces. Everyone, not everyone. A lot of people cheat on their spouses, and I did not want to live that life. I have a lovely wife that I met on tour with Guns N' Roses, but had nothing to do with Guns N' Roses. And I have 3 great kids, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. I loved touring, toured for 10 years, but that was enough. And I have great stories, great memories. I met pretty much everybody. And so I can still to this day call people and ask favors, which I do all the time.
That's pretty awesome. So you were Axl's minder?
I was Axl's personal assistant. I was really something else, but I call myself personal assistant because every time I mention the other name, then I get CDs and everyone thinks I can manage them. So I was his personal assistant, babysitter. Yeah, that was me. 24/7. I was with Axl Rose for 3.5 years, 24/7.
Wow.
Not 22/7, not 20, 24/7.
And you survived.
That sounds exhausting.
Exhausting. Yes, Haley. Exhausting. And he's a dear friend, but you're with anyone for 24/7, you know. Yeah.
No, I get it. And if you're with somebody who's doing and performing at that level, who's traveling at that pace and trying to live at that pace, I mean, it's exhausting for,
Yeah.
I would say, everybody.
Just thinking about it makes me tired. I'm going to take a nap right now.
Okay. So, you know, give our audience a small taste of, you know, like, what are you going to be doing in the next few months with your mastermind? Because obviously everything is virtual. So what could they expect if they signed up for the mastermind?
So I have my master classes up here. I just have what's coming up. So this is basically what we're doing every Wednesday from 1 to 3, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I do a master class. And it's on various aspects of either marketing or life or whatever, and we record it. So if you're not there live, you get referred to it, watch it anytime you want, and go back and refer to it. And we have a Rock Your Life Mastermind membership page with everything that I've done since beginning of the year on this page. So it's all the videos, it's all the recordings of everything. So my first master class was called Life. And it was balancing work and life and how to live a life that is not stressful, time management skills, and just like, you know, just basic everyday work balance. So that was the first one. Then I did one on copywriting. And the reason why I did copywriting is because every time I talk to people and I help them with their stuff, they make big, like I was a copywriter by trade before this, and I was a creative director for an advertising agency. So I have a marketing background, but copywriting was my specialty, and it's amazing how much people suck at writing copy, and if they write copy, how bad it looks when they actually lay it out. So I did a whole copywriting class, and I used examples of one sheets and speaker one sheets and ads and Facebook ads, and did this copywriting class. Then I did a class on long copy sales letters, the copy sales letters that we see on websites, how to start an affiliate program, and how to use Kartra. Then I did one on Zoom because Zoom was huge, and I taught people how to use Zoom, basically, webinars and meetings. Then speaker one sheets. So speaker one sheets, teaching people what goes on a speaker one sheet, how it gets laid out, why this goes there, the key elements on a speaker one sheet. I taught a masterclass on how to put on a successful webinar. I taught a class on how to write a book in 30 days and self-publish it, which is the biggest one. I had a class on motivation and inspiration, how to stay motivated and inspired during this COVID thing. I had a masterclass on how to set up a membership site. And remind me after this, I'll talk about membership sites in a second. How to get speaking gigs was another one. Creating a legacy was another one. How do we get people to remember us after we're not here anymore, or even after we retire or whatever? Another one on affiliates, because we went into depth on affiliate programs, how to set up an affiliate program for yourself and how to join other affiliate programs so you can make supplemental income. And then I started doing with other people in my mastermind, them running a master class. So we had on July 1st, the business of speaking with Tony Caruso. She's my event planner. She teaches people how to put on events. So she did a 2-hour presentation on the business of speaking. And then I just did today selling from the stage. What you need to know before, during, and after selling from the stage. Before you go on stage, during the stage, and what goes on after. And it was a detailed thing. Next week is blogging. Next week after that, podcasting, videos, building a community, and on and on and on. So all the ones that I've already done are all recorded and on a website for our mastermind members, for them to just go look at. All they do is click on the link and they can watch the Zoom call and go through my PowerPoint presentation and having me talk and the people interacting. So all this is there already. Even if they join now, they're just going to get that. Plus, my April event is on there with all those speakers I talked about. Plus, my RockStar flash drive, which has how to write a book in 30 days, how to self-publish a book, the RockStar System for Success, a bunch of my ebooks. So the flash drive is on there. And then my monthly mastermind meeting I have, where people ask questions about anything in life or business. So all these videos are already up there, and I continue to do them once a week. And then I add a monthly thing as well. And on top of that, when we're allowed to, I do 6 2-day live events a year, every other month. And I sprinkle in some, if they can get to LA or if they live in LA, some meetings at North Ranch Country Club. It's a golf course here in Westlake Village, California, that I have 10 or 15 people, and it's a more focused, smaller group. So I have so many opportunities for people to just be involved with our group of 206 people. And then once you get to know them over time through the Zoom calls, through meetings, that's when the interactions, like Sue Brook used to be in my mastermind. She's doing stuff with Joe, and Sue moved away. I think she's up north now, right? Or something, Northern California. So, but people are still partnering with other people in my mastermind or even outside of my mastermind now. It's for 4,000 for the first year, 2,000 for the second year, 1,000 for the third year. It is the biggest no-brainer out there, because here's the thing. I don't want to stress people out with money. I can easily charge $10,000 a year for this. And then people will have stressful to pay $10,000 a year. But $4,000 for the first year when you're getting all this new knowledge, I just think is so worth it. But that third year, where it's only $1,000 a year, and you get everything that everyone continues to get. I mean, come on, $1,000 a year.
I didn't even know that you lowered the price now. I think it used to be 6,000 or 7,000.
Yeah. I lowered it because I went to a new model where I just want a bunch of people, but you guys got access to me, Joe. You guys could call me. The new model is there's no coaching calls for the 4,000, 2,000, 3,000, but you can buy a la carte coaching calls and one days with me as well.
So I didn't know. So I got to get my affiliate link again. So I'll start pitching.
Yeah.
Okay. But
that's a good point, Joe. If you were to send out your link through the affiliate that you signed up with, if they sign up for 4,000, I give you $400. It's 10%. So.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But also, you didn't mention the Facebook group, because for me, that's huge.
No, you're right. I forgot.
It's just like having a resource where I could put any question up there, and I get a lot of responses.
So 199 of the 206 people are in the Facebook group. And it's so great, because if you have a title for a book and say, hey, what do you guys think of this title versus this title? People just give them their opinion. And then logos and book covers and one sheets. But instead of doing this by ourselves, you need a soundboard. You need other people to say, hey, you forgot this. This needs to be in there. So I run the page, but I have, like I said, 200 people that are really good at this now that help as well. And they're coming from different walks of life. So you get a lot of opinions. And some are good, and some you go, really? What? But
always.
Once again, that is also good to know too. What you would go, hell no, I'm not doing that. So it's just an ongoing thing. Sorry, it's just an ongoing thing that's really very powerful group. And like I said, I'm blessed. I have great people. I don't have any idiots in my group. I really don't. I have great people, really great people. Very
cool. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. This has been, I hope, very helpful and very informative.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you guys for having me, Haley and Joe. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, my friend. It was fun. You didn't mention anything about the what did you say, membership groups you want to talk about?
So really quick, the fastest way to make money is in my opinion, is a membership site. So a membership site is where you put all the stuff that you've ever done and you just load it up onto one site. So I have a marketing membership site where people pay $97, and I'll explain what the fee is in a second. And on that is like all my articles, all my ebooks, all my posts, all my inspiration, all the videos. I did a bunch of videos with Dean Cain, Superman, videos of all my past boot camps, of all the speakers that I've ever spoken on my stage: Brendan Burchard, Les Brown, Brian Tracy, Laura Langmeyer, Lisa Sasevich, Joe Polish. I mean, everybody, all these great speakers give it, Bo Eason, hour-and-a-half presentations that you can watch on this membership site. And the beauty of that is, if you're watching Bo Eason do a 1.5-hour presentation on storytelling and why you need to learn to tell stories, you can go to my event and watch it, but you're going to forget a lot of it. But now you have a video of it, and you could piece together, how did he structure, first of all, the 90-minute talk? How did he get like 50 to 60 people sign up in the back of the room at $2,000 each? What did he do to the audience to get them to buy this program? So not only are you learning about storytelling, the idea is to learn how to see how great speakers structure their speeches so that you could do the same thing. So on this membership site, I have all this stuff, like hundreds of videos, hundreds of posts, hundreds of articles, and all that stuff. And it's rockstarmarketingbackstage.com is the website. It's $97 for a one-time fee, $97. And they don't have to pay another dime for the rest of their lives, and they get all these videos. So people think you're crazy by doing that, but by doing that, I'm not stressed every month that I have to add new content, because no one's going to get angry if you didn't add any content, because they're not paying any more money. And then the other thing is, if you have a monthly fee every month for a membership site, every single month, if I had 1,000 people on that membership site, about 200 credit cards would be declined every month. Now I'm putting a customer service rep and getting everyone to redo their credit cards. I don't want to deal with that. So I charge $97 for a one-time fee to be on this membership, rockstarmarketingbackstage.com. And I then have guest people come on there and they offer their stuff, and I get 50% of the sale. And that's how you make more money with a membership site. But I do this whole talk. And if they join the mastermind, they're going to get how to do it and other things that you can do. Rockstar Marketing. Thank you, Joey. There it is. And it's the best thing that I've done. Best thing. $97, quick money. I sold like 30 of them in the first 2 days. So it was like $3,000 quick. And then I've sold hundreds since.
Very cool.
A lot of hundreds. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night, Craig.
Joe.
Good night.
Night, guys.
Bye.